This just in. Arizona is making Bitcoin legal tender? Don't go anywhere. We got to talk about this. And welcome back to the channel. Do be sure that you smash all the buttons or click them, whatever it is you need to do. All the clicks count. Appreciate you being subscribed. This is SB1341, introduced by Senator Rogers. So you see it right here. The link is down in the description of this video. This is the direct link to the PDF, translated from the doc file, the Microsoft file that was uploaded directly by the people in question. So Senator Rogers and their team. But yeah, this is actually SB 1351 under azleg.gov. The legal text is 55, so don't go to number 54, which is a different revision of this, but 55. And the language is very, very specific. It is unmistakably clear. Let's move down and make this just as large as we can. It says, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Arizona, Section 1, Title 1, Arizona Revised Statutes is amended by adding Chapter 9 to read. Chapter 9, Article 1, General Provisions, Legal Tender. See, so Article 1, 901. So legal tender, these are their definitions. A, legal tender in this state consists of all the following. 1, any means of exchange that is authorized by the United States Constitution or Congress for the payment of debts, public charges, taxes, and dues. So that would obviously be the US dollar, right? So the US dollar is already approved by the United States Constitution and currently by Congress for the payment of debts. So that's what we currently view as legal tender. But 2, specie issued at any time by the United States government. So if the United States government did decide to start issuing specie again instead of the current Federal Reserve notes that we have that are becoming increasingly worthless over time, well, that would be accepted in Arizona as well. 3, any other specie that a court of competent jurisdiction rules by a final unappealable order to be within the scope of state authority to make legal tender. So the state of Arizona could issue its own specie, which is different from the Federal Reserve notes that we currently call dollars. This would be a different thing. But the Arizona Constitution allows for the state of Arizona to issue its own specie. And then 4, Bitcoin. It's spelled out as Bitcoin. Now, they have a clarification here. It says B for the purposes of this section. It is, yes. So A is the legal tender. B is the purpose of this section. Bitcoin means the decentralized peer-to-peer digital currency in which a record of transactions is maintained on the Bitcoin blockchain, and new units of currency are generated by the computational solution of mathematical problems, and that operates independently of a central bank. Now, it's a little bit lacking in its definition. It's not complete, but it is sufficient, I think. That definition is sufficient to designate that they're talking about Bitcoin that uses the atomic unit Satoshis, right? And that runs on its own sovereign blockchain, its own sovereign network. I think that's clear enough to any normie or any attorney that might need to use this legal language to defend somebody's use of Bitcoin in the market. Then it says specie means coins having precious metal content. It's good that they actually went out of their way to clarify that. So they're also giving themselves the opportunity by this definition, if it weren't already defined this way, for the state of Arizona to issue their own coinage that is made from precious metal, so silver, gold, or other precious metal coins with a certain specific weight or percentage of precious metal in those coins. What do you think of this? I mean, really, what's your take on this idea that the state of Arizona is going to potentially start accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, but also in the same legislation give themselves sort of, if it isn't already enumerated in their constitution, give themselves the opportunity to issue their own semi-precious coinage, right? Their own coins or their own currency that has precious metal content. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think more states should follow? I know where I stand on the issue, and I definitely am in favor of more states doing this. There's been whisperings of this happening maybe in Texas and in Florida, and I think that if Arizona does do this first, it will light a fire under those other states. Arizona already is quite freedom-loving, with things such as constitutional carry having been written into law for many years now. So I think this is just a logical step for a state like Arizona that's quite freedom-loving. I am a little bit concerned by it being so restrictive merely to Bitcoin as opposed to it possibly being other digital currencies. I think that it would be much better to either go more broad in the definition as opposed to just Bitcoin, or less broad and just much more narrow in the definition and making it much more clear that they're specifically talking about Bitcoin with the ticker symbol BTC or exactly what they mean, because it could be argued right now with the way they have this law written, it could be argued that they're also referring to Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold, etc., etc. This is a little bit too ambiguous in that respect, but if they are allowing for certain cryptocurrencies, they need to be, I think, either more specific or much more broad and say that cryptocurrencies in general can be used as legal tender without it being a requirement. I think that there could be a little bit of an issue here in the same way that there has been in El Salvador with vendors and with various other people at the point of sale needing to get into a compliance motion where they're able to accept the proposed legal tender in the right amount of time so that they're not left behind and they're not fined by turning down citizens of that territory who offer that legal tender. But I feel pretty good about this. I think this could be a very, very positive move here in the United States. And I think that if it has to be just one, obviously the only answer there is Bitcoin. However, I do think that it'd be fine for them to move to have a much more broad definition of which cryptocurrencies they will accept. Yeah, I think it'd be fine to go with, for example, Ethereum and stablecoins, and having better language that helps to describe that they're referring to distributed ledger technology and that they're referring to cryptocurrency and tokens issued on decentralized systems. So in either case, I think it probably needs a rewrite, but I do like that this is the current proposal. If anybody from the state of Arizona, if anybody from Senator Rogers' office wants to reach out, I mean, I'm not a citizen of the state of Arizona, but I would be more than happy to offer my suggestions to Senator Rogers' office and cabinet and to whatever the subcommittee or task force in his in Senator Rogers' cabinet is. Whoever is working on this, feel free to reach out. I know a lot of members of the community, and of course a lot of your constituents, a lot of your voters are going to be giving you feedback. But I do think you need just a little bit more expert input on this. So by all means, reach out. Audience, what do you think of this? Let me know in the comments section. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Love your face. We'll talk to you again soon with more just one-off tidbits like this. All right, remember to stay private. Mind your biz. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and then check out mineyour.biz to sign up for Mine Your Biz Insiders, our exclusive newsletter where we talk about all kinds of mining deals, crypto-oriented deals, security deals, privacy deals, and everything that we can't personally bring you here on the channel, but can talk to you about in email. Also, check out our swag shop where you can see the Mind Your Biz phone. You can also see dedicated sites for Bitcoin, Monero, and other meme coin swag, as well as our friends over at Flux Network. All right, guys, thanks for watching to the end. You know I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.